Hey everybody, Justin Worden, and you're watching What's New in Electronics. We are here at IPC Apex 2024. It's day one. I'm sitting down with Chris Nash of Indium. Chris, how you doing?
Very well, Justin. Thanks for having me.
Man, you guys are so busy. I walked by the booth a few times. I'm like, how do I get him over here? I got to talk to him.
Yeah, it's all about the Durafuse technology, I think. It's low temperature, high reliability.
Yeah, man, I got to sit through one of your presentations, and I'm like, we got to talk a little bit about this. Because you guys are doing a great job putting it out, but I want to get into, we can talk about the technical side of it, but let's just get into like how it benefits the executive side of things, right? Because we talk so much about the technical benefits, and we can have a boring conversation about that if you want. But what really sparked my interest is when you're talking about, you can spend a little bit more money, but you can save money at the end of it all. So let's go into that.
Yeah, so I think one of the huge value propositions of Indium Durafuse LT is the sustainability of the material. Lowering the temperatures of the reflow oven are able to equate to about 10 to 15% energy consumption reduction, which equates to a huge cost savings for customers. And you can do so with other alloys like bismuth-contained alloys, right? But the Durafuse LT is going to maintain the reliability needed for these assemblies, similar to or equal to or better than SAC-05, depending on the reflow process that you're utilizing. So it's a cost savings, it's an environmentally friendly, sustainable savings, and it's a reliability play. So,
yeah, and the point I'm trying to make here, when you're selling consumables, so much it usually comes down to price. Right? It's price, availability, and reliability. Those are typically the three things, And you can talk to the engineer, you can qualify the product, you can be the best product ever. But then it gets to the decision maker. And they're like, well, it costs more, so we're not going to buy it.
Yeah, so I think total cost is something that people have to consider, right? So it's not only the cost of the solder paste. The solder paste on the board is only pennies, even in some cases fractions of pennies. So you really have to look at the total cost of the process as well as the cost of the solder paste, because the energy consumption, that has a cost to it, and being able to reduce that energy consumption is huge. But it also end-of-line defects, right? Indium believes that quality is top of mind when we're talking about our products. So being able to save on the end-of-line defects by not having any end-of-line defects is going to save a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah, and you're talking about energy, right? That people don't typically correlate energy and solder paste, but energy is a huge part of the budget when you're running a shop. When you're running a facility, energy is huge. So even though you may pay a little bit more for a Durafuse LT as far as maybe the price per liter for the solder paste, you're going to more than make that up just on the energy consumption you're going to spend using it.
So we had a customer actually save about $4 per board assembly just by switching from SAC-05 to the Durafuse LT. There was a couple other benefits that they achieved as well from a reliability standpoint, but also lowering the temperature allowed them to increase their throughput just as much. So they were able to test their boards, either ICT or functionality testing, after the reflow process much sooner because the assemblies weren't as hot. So they didn't have to wait as long for the assemblies to cool down before testing.
Yep, and I say in probably 90% of these interviews, time is money.
Yes.
Time is money. So, you can't even put a cost savings on that, but you're saving them additional resources there.
A ton of resources.
So, all right, we talked about Durafuse LT. Let's switch gears. Let's go on to the HR.
Yeah. So the Durafuse HR, the real value proposition here is high reliability with low voiding. There are a lot of other high reliability alloys in the market space, but none of them will perform equally or better than the Durafuse HR from a voiding standpoint. It's really, when you talk about the automotive industry, it's really where we're focusing our efforts on the Durafuse HR technology, but also the server market as well. And a lot of those assemblies are going to use bottom termination components that are going to be very challenging from a voiding standpoint. Getting the voids out is a difficult thing to do with the high reliability alloys because of the plastic range of the alloy, because of all the elements that go into these high reliability alloys. But we're focused not only on flux vehicle technology for voiding reduction, but also the alloy itself. So because it's a multi-powder system, you're able to achieve early onset wetting with the Durafuse technology because you have one alloy that melts a little bit sooner than the other alloy. So
Yeah, and again, removing the technical side of things, you're saving money, right? Because these boards are getting so complicated. You got this large component next to this smaller component, and you're having to run all these different parameters and systems and operations. But in the end, there's one solution that can solve both problems,
yes,
right?
That's correct. The Xerofuse HR, again, reliability, you don't want field failures. So you've got field failures, that's huge money that you're talking about now. With a high reliability alloy, you're not going to have those field failures, especially with regards to thermal cycling. And you're going to save any headaches, any reliability issues that come about, and that's going to save you money in the long run.
Absolutely. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this video, we're going to save it, they're going to put it up on YouTube, we're going to save it, right? We're going to put it in our favorites, and every time an engineer can't get it approved because of budget, we're going to send them this video.
Sounds good.
So yeah, we got the Xerofuse LT, the Xerofuse HR. What else are you guys working on nowadays?
Yeah, so we got a lot going on. We have a lot of thermal interface materials that we're working on for between the component and the heatsink. We have sintering materials that are up and coming and growing in demand as well as supply for us. We have a lot of flux core wire activity with new product development on the flux core side of the equation, faster wetting, better spread, and lower spatter. So for robotic soldering, that's going to be super important for the industry.
Yeah, I hear you guys are selling a lot of that in Mexico right now.
A ton in Mexico, yeah.
Anyways, all right, so wrap things up. I just want to go over one other question here. So let's go back to the Xerofuse for a little bit. With the Xerofuse, it's not like most verticals in the solder paste where you can go to any different brand. You're probably going to get something similar from all the different brands, right? You guys want to say Indium's the best, but you have a lot of products you sell that other brands sell as well. But not with the Xerofuse. It's kind of like its own little vertical over there.
Absolutely.
So the reason I'm getting at is, if you're selling that to me, it sounds like a big project to get it qualified.
Well, I think any project to get any material qualified is a big project, right? But with alloy changes, you're really going to need to focus a little bit more on your reliability. We have a lot of data that's already been collected, so you can trust in Indium to provide some of that data, and then maybe that will downgrade the amount of testing that you have to do. So it is difficult to switch materials.
But that's with anything. That's with anything. It's new, but it's proven, right?
Yes.
And the point I'm trying to get at, Indium does the heavy lifting for you.
Of course, yeah.
So, it's a new product, it's a proven product. Financially, we know it's going to make the most sense. But, lean on Indium. Yeah. Let you guys earn that business, and you'll make it very easy for them.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. Hey, Chris, this has been so much pleasure. Had a lot of fun. We learned a lot today. And you'll be watching this video if you can't get the budget approved.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.